All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming today. This is Friday, end of the week. We are very grateful for an amazing opportunity to be alive. I like to start every day with a thanksgiving, a recognition to God, because 5 days is a lot of days. And without the grace of God, without His love and His mercy, we cannot make it to Friday. We cannot make it to the end of the week. So we are very grateful, and we are also very, very grateful for reaching course 9. Yes, this is course 9. This is week 9. We've been together for 9 weeks. Can you imagine? We started in April. Now we are June 11th. So I think it's something to be celebrated, and it is something to be really recognized and to be thankful for. So and I was talking to my team that I have never imagined that we are going to reach this far. When we said 12 weeks, it was sounding like eternity, but I'm very grateful that when you are willing to work, when you are willing to take risk, when you are willing to start the journey, God is always ready to support. God is always ready to give a hand and to support you so that you reach what He has called you to reach. So we are very grateful. On behalf of the TLP technical team, we are very grateful for reaching course 9. I mean, these courses, they come from they come from a very deep level of spiritual aspect of life. So I'm very grateful that the Holy Spirit has a way of accepted to channel this information through this program. So today we are going to be discussing about the purpose and power of healing and forgiveness. I mean, God, I know I'm not, I mean, for this course on healing and forgiveness, it's so heavy in me that, it has been fighting inside of me. I mean, when I was preparing the courses of this program, I even tried to remove it because I was saying, you know what, let me squeeze it in the course of, crisis and change. But it kept popping up. It kept coming. It kept haunting me to the point where when we reached to the last Friday in class, when I was teaching, I think it's Bertrand was the question about healing and how do you deal with heartbreaks and so forth. And then I was like, you know what, I think this is a confirmation that we really need to do this course. And we've been receiving different confirmations this week. I saw also on the RB, I think it's on the Twitter of RB, they were saying that the people who have mental health issues have risen. I mean, I think the number has tripled, this year. So I kept receiving these signs that showed me that this thing of healing and forgiveness is a very important phase that you have to go through when you are doing your personal development work, or when you are working on yourself, or when you are developing yourself as a person. So personal development is a broad journey. So this thing of healing and forgiveness, it's a very crucial aspect of personal development. So I believe that you are going to get something. You're going to, you're going to capture what you are able to capture in this course. And I believe that this is going to add a lot of value to your life. So this is level 3, self-manifestation, as I said. And the purpose of this course is to highlight the importance of healing and forgiveness, teach you how to process pain and failure, but again, to teach you how to recover from depression and traumatic events. So this is the purpose of this course, because when you talk about healing, when you talk about forgiveness, you are dealing with people's pain, you are dealing with past history, you are dealing with what hurt people, or what is currently even hurting people. Because as we move through life, we have things that are going to hurt us. Now, before I go through it, I have a disclaimer that I want to put out before I go on. So the contents that we are going to consume today, they are not professional advice in any form, but they are my personal opinions, observation, and God-given inspiration and insights on the topic of healing and forgiveness. So these are my own research that I've made, my own observation, my personal experience in my life, the way I dealt with things that hurt me, the things that, the disappointment that life brought in my life in terms of crisis. And then I gathered lessons, and God also inspired me. I got also inspiration, and then I came up with this content. So that's why I advise that, consume this content. But if you feel like you also want to go, professional wise, you can consult just a mental health professional. There is no problem to get approval if you see that it's not working. Now, so as I was saying, when you talk about healing and forgiveness, it's a heavy topic, because not only you are dealing with people's pain and past history and what traumatized them, but you are also dealing with things that are dear to people's heart. Because I believe that if something has hurt you, it's because you were expecting a positive result out of it. If something has made you cry, it's because you were trying to achieve a given result, but it didn't work. But what I can say is, I don't know if I can say unfortunately or fortunately, what we have to understand is that the crisis that hurt us is assured. So when you talk about failure, it's a common denominator. You cannot escape failure. Whatever you do, whatever you try to accomplish in life, you cannot escape failure, because in failure, that's how we grow. In failure, that's how we discover our strength. In failure, that's how we came up to understand that the potential that God has put in us is going to be explored. It is explored in failure. However, though failure does not intend to destroy us or to tear us, apart, it leaves some things behind, some pain behind, that are going to cause us to sometimes, if we don't deal with that pain, it is going to leave us with, it is going to leave residues there that are going to affect us in the future. That's why people need healing. People need healing not because they have faced crisis, but because they did not manage to process that pain effectively, so that they can heal from it. So if you have tried to start something, if you have tried to get into a relationship and that relationship failed, the problem is not failing. The problem is, what does that failure leaves in your life, and how does that residue of that pain is going to affect you in the coming future. Maybe some people, when they start something and then they fail, that pain sometimes it leaves, that the residue, it resides in their psyche, in their mind, in their mental faculties, to the point where when they are going to start another business, that pain is going to come in form of fear, in form of a certain phobia, something like that. So it's very, very crucial that when you pass into something that troubles you, which is going to happen. Obviously, you have to know how to manage it and work with it. So you have to expect to get hurt, but what you do with that hurt, that pain, is what defines you. So it means when you pass through something, you have to know how to process it. A lot of people, that's that's what I was, that's the comment I gave yesterday on Twitter when RBA was tweeting about the increase in number of people who are joining mental health hospitals. I say that the problem is not getting hurt, because whatever happens, you are going to get hurt. Someone is going to break your heart. Someone is going to disappoint you. But when you don't know what to do with that disappointment, and then you leave it in your heart, you leave it in your mind, you leave it in your psychological aspect, you leave it inside of you, in your psyche, then that thing is going to harm you. So you will find that in today's society, many people are living with fear, others are living with depression, others are living with emotional stress, others are living with mental pains. All of these things, it is not only because they have gone into tough situations, but it is because they have not managed to these are results. When you talk about fear, when you talk about depression, when you talk about emotional stress, when you talk about mental pain, you are talking about results. These are it's like talking about an omelette. When you cook an omelette, the quality of the eggs is going to determine the quality of the omelette. You cannot face pain and you let it reside inside of you and you expect to have a healthy mental life. That is not going to happen. If you have been disappointed by someone, some people have faced, molestation, some people have faced rape issues, some people have, faced, someone, requires you to give, corruption. Other people have been, fired unfairly in their jobs. All of those things, you have lost someone. If you have lost a loved one and you did not process properly that pain is going to haunt you, is going to hunt you down in your life. Because when you leave, it's like a cancerous cells. It is going to eat you up from the inside, and it is starting to manifest. When you talk about fear, when you talk about any form of pain, either emotional or mental, you are talking about results of unresolved issues. Now, this is the mental health states. So all mental health issues, they are triggered by failure. When you talk about failure, it's the main trigger of mental health issues. Everything starts when someone fails at something. It may be failing an exam, it may be failing at marriage, failing to get kids, failing to handle, maybe let's say you are a medical doctor, you fail to treat properly a patient, and then that patient loses life, and it is going to hunt you down. It may be failing at a business, it may be failing at different things, a relationship, something like that. And that failure is going to leave an emotional pain, which is going to lead to a mental pain, which is going to lead to depression, which is going to lead to trauma, to suicidal thoughts. And then some people, that's when they start healing, and then they restore to a healthy life. But these are the states, the states of mental health, or your psychology. These are like psychological states that people are going to be into. I did not go into deeper details, but these are the main things that I've based on my observation, that I found that your mental health is going to go through. Yeah, so that's why you have to know exactly what you're going through so that you can properly treat it. Now, so what is failure? So failure is simply missing the mark. It's when your plans are not executed. It is planning a goal and you miss it. that's where the issue starts. Failure is when you place your trust in someone and that person disappoints you. Failure is when you try to, is when you try, you get married, everything is good, but you try to get a kid, but you cannot get a kid. Failure is when you try relationships, but they don't work. So failure is, it's when you miss the mark, you have missed the target. And then that act of missing the target, that thing that has happened, that trust that has been broken, that's when the pain comes in. Now, you have to learn how to process your failure. You have to learn how to process failure. So when you face a failure, when you start something and then it fails, when you try to achieve something and then that thing is not achieved, how do you process that? How do you go through that? How do you manage to get the best out of the failure? Because remember, it's very, very, very important that you not only process failure, but also you gain the best out of failure. I mean, because we talked about, crisis. A failure is a result of a crisis. So it means that life is putting you at a test, because there's something that God wants to teach you, and then it will look like a failure to you. You interpret it as failure. So you have to know how to process it properly so that you can get the best out of it. So number one, you have to accept that you have failed. I've met many people in even in my life. Sometimes you fail to accept the failure. Some people will say, no, this business, I cannot lose this business. I cannot fail to get this woman or this man. I cannot. No, it's impossible. This person cannot miss. This person cannot do this. You refuse to accept that thing has happened. So the first step to processing failure is to accept it, to say, okay, you know what, I have failed on that. I have failed at doing this. This thing has come, I did not recognize it. I accept it. Now, what is the next step? The next step is to forgive. So to forgive, you have first of all to forgive not only the person who has offended you, but also you have to forgive yourself if you were part of the problem. If you were part of the problem. Let's say it's in your workplace, something has failed. Let's say you have failed to accomplish a task. And then that has brought not only the failure, but also the shame. You are now a topic of discussion. The first thing is to forgive not only the person who has offended you, if you are not part of the problem, but if you are part of that failure, you have also to understand that you have to forgive yourself. Some people are hard on themselves. I want to tell you that one of the steps that are going to help you to heal is to tell yourself that it is okay, that you are going to be fine, that everything is going to be fine, that everything that you went through, even though you messed up, forgive yourself. Because some people struggle because they don't, they fail to forgive themselves, even themselves. They can't forgive. How can you, if you don't forgive yourself, how can you receive forgiveness? It's just impossible. Now, the next step is to assess why you failed. Because if you pass through a situation and then it doesn't leave you, you don't know why, then that mistake is going to happen again. If you have failed if you fall into something that you did not plan, the next step is to ask yourself, why did that happen? What happened with me? What was the problem? What was going on in me? Was I because I was not conscious? Was I because I was in a bad company? What was going on here? What did I fail? Then the next step, you have to give a name to a failure. Giving a name to a failure is to define what that failure is going to do to you, because you are going to fail many times. So if you allow that failure to give itself a name, it's going to be a problem. Let's say you break up with your fiance, you break up with your girlfriend, or let's say you are fired. Two people can be fired at the same job, and one can say, you know what, even though I'm fired, I'm not really fired. I'm promoted to do something else. It's time to explore new areas. Another person can say, I know, I have always seen that the boss hates me. Those are two people interpreting failure in a completely different way. One person can say, this woman or this man has left me because I'm not beautiful, or because I don't have money, if it's a woman, or because I'm not handsome, whatever, however you call it. Another person can say, you know what, I was not maybe ready. Let me prepare myself so that when the next person comes, I'll be ready. One person can fail at you can invest money, and that you can lose it. One person can say, I've lost my money. And another person can say, you know what, I don't think I've lost money. This is the price I paid for a great lesson that I've learned, leading me to the next point, the next step, which is enumerating the lessons. You have to sit down and write down what that thing has taught you. What did you learn from your failure? Because if you waste your failures, then you are wasting your life. That's why God, in fact, this is how I like this. I like this. This is how you turn a failure into a blessing. This is how you turn a failure into a blessing. When you don't get the lessons that you, oh, by the way, if you don't get the lessons that a failure is supposed to teach you, it means that you are going to face that situation again. Because if a failure is there to teach you something and you fail to learn that thing, it simply means that that lesson is going to come again and again until you get it. That's why people say, why I keep making the same mistakes, why I keep meeting at my workplace. Everyone I work for, they react the same. Why do I keep bumping over friends, or why do I keep getting into relationships with people of the same character? It's like you are dating the same person in different, wearing different clothes, but it's the same person. Let's say you are in business, you keep making the same mistakes. You keep hiring people who are going to, who don't perform, and then you are wondering what is happening. What is going on with me? Why I keep hiring the people who makes the same mistakes? The problem is not those people. The problem is that you did not learn the lessons that you were supposed to learn. That's why people get stuck in life. Some people progress and other people are stuck. It's like repeating the same classes every day, every day, every day. Now, the next step is to try again or take another route. When you are ready, when you have enumerated your lessons, then you can start saying, you know what, I'm going to the next step. Now, this is where I pause and tell you something. If you don't process your failure, effectively, if you don't, because when you fail, it has not yet turned into a pain. It's just you are just feeling that it's a disturbance in your mind. You're just having thoughts, but it is not yet pain. When you process failure, when you process this failure correctly, you don't need to go into the next slides of my PowerPoint today. Because if people could have processed failure efficiently, we could not have, the cases of trauma and depression and so forth. No. A lot of these mental issues, they come from a simple failure that you did not process correctly. Then it become a heartbreak, then it become pain, it become residue, it become a complicated accumulation of unprocessed failures that became pain. Now, if you fail to process your failure correctly, then we have to discuss about pain. So what is pain? Pain is defined as unprocessed failure, undigested defeat, stagnant negative emotions. This is what pain is. Pain, it's something that has accumulated inside of you. You have gone through different issues. You know, there is a divorce. You have failed in business. You have failed to get kids. Someone has disappointed you. Your boss is mistreating you. You are being disrespected by your family members. You are facing issues in your house. You are, I mean, all of those things coming over you. You are failing exams. You are, all of that, they end up becoming pain. You start feeling it. You start feeling the burden. There are two types of pain. The first type of pain, it is emotional pain. So emotional pain is the first level of pain. This is a type of pain which disrupts your emotions. They disrupt your emotions significantly. You start feeling different types of emotions because emotions are expressed in the way you feel. So when you don't process properly your pain, this is the first level of pain. That's why some people, you will feel sad for no reason. You just feel sad for no reason. Because in your subconscious mind, there are things, you have luggages that are stored there from probably your childhood. From probably your childhood. Someone has failed you. A family member has disappointed you. A teacher at school has told you something or has, molested, you have been molested, you have been, abused in one way or another. And you have that thing, you did not manage to process it. And then when you did not manage to process it, it becomes pain. It develops these negative emotions. So what was happiness, it is then turned into sadness. Then your emotions, they start working against you. So what are the signs of emotional pain? Number one, there is low morale. You feel like you are disengaged. You are very low. Very low morale means low energy. You don't want to do anything. You just you feel sloppy, you feel lazy. You have no vibes to go forward. You're feeling discouraged. You feel no drive. You have no confidence. A lot of people, they ask me, really, what is the secret to confidence? I'll say that no one can teach you how to be confident because confidence is a result of feeling good about yourself. How can you feel good about yourself when you have these luggages that you did not? It's like carrying a heavy burden on your back, and you are trying to move. You cannot fly when you are burdened. It is impossible. Confidence is when your morale is high, when you have the drive, and people are going to feel it. So when you feel like this, you have to know that there is an emotional pain somewhere in your subconscious mind. And when that happens, you have to learn how to process it. You have to know how to process it. What are the steps of processing emotional pain? Because as I said, guys, this is I'm teaching you how to become, how to engineer inner health, how to engineer a healthy, a mental, how to engineer a healthy mind. Because everything, King David said, I think it's King David. He said, you have to protect I think it's somewhere in the Bible. It says you have to protect your heart or your mind so much, because it is where everything of life flows from. So if you have an unhealthy mind or mental health, if you are not vigorously if your mental health is not vigorous, or it's not at in a very good state rather, you cannot thrive in life. You cannot thrive. So that's why you have to know how to process it. So number one, you have to acknowledge the pain. Because some people will say, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not feeling good. You know, some people, you will ask someone, how are you feeling today? Say, I'm not good. Or they say, I'm good. But you know inside of yourself, you are not feeling good. So the first thing is to acknowledge the pain, to know, you know what, I think I have something. Why? Because when you feel sad, don't think it's normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. It's not normal to be sad. It's not normal to lack drive. It's not normal to feel anger or anxiety or fear. That's not normal. That's not normal. Don't let anyone tell you that it is normal to feel sad. No, it's not normal to feel sad. It's an evidence that there is something wrong in you. You may feel quiet, you may feel, still, but when it comes to sadness, you have this sadness that is dawning on you. It's like someone covering you with a blanket. You have to acknowledge that pain. The next step is to embrace that pain. Now, to say I have pain, then next to say, you know what, let me embrace it. Okay. You take a deep breath, you say, okay, I think I'm sad. I'm very sad. That's what embracing means. You say, okay, I'm sad. You accept it. Then the next step is to talk about it. Tell yourself, or find someone, it's very important that when the best way to process these types of emotions, because emotions are energy. So when you talk to something, when you talk, you have a relief. You have a relief. Because when you're talking about emotional pain, things have not yet started to be complicated. It can be fixed quickly, just quickly. You can process it quickly. Don't be in your corner. No. Find a friend, someone you trust. Or if you like it, some people like to talk with themselves. Some people simply like to talk with themselves. So talk about it. Talk about how you are feeling. Release that sadness. Go inside and say, talk with that person. What made you sad? What made you sad? Is it someone who told you something that discouraged you? Is it someone who disappointed you? Is it something you saw? Is it because you did not hit a goal? Why are you sad? Then you talk about that. The next step is to outgrow it. What do I mean by outgrowing a pain? Outgrowing a pain simply means that if let's say you were sad because someone disrespected you, when you want to outgrow that pain, you have to go in the place of that person who disrespected you and understand that the reason why they disrespected you, it's not because you are disrespectful. It's simply because they don't know how to respect people. That's how they react. That's the best they know. When you understand that, then you say, oh, you know what? It's not because I don't have money, or it's not because I don't drive an expensive car. It's not because it's not because I'm not, on his level. No, he did not disrespect me because of that. He simply disrespected me because that's how he is. That's his level of perception. That's his mindset. And I don't have to pay the price of his low mindset and low character and bad morals and lack of values. then you outgrow that emotional pain. When you reach to that level, there is no other way except forgiving that person. When you reach that level, when you understand that this thing that you have gone through, it's nothing. Oh, it is not about me. Don't take it personal. Then you can say, it's fine. He didn't know. Then you start feeling, you start having mercy for that person. That's when even the Bible says, pray for your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you, because they need grace. You see? So it's a different way. It's a shift in perspective. You know? That's why it's very important to outgrow that emotional pain. When you outgrow it, there is no other way except flying higher. You know, when you reconcile with the person, you say, okay, it's fine. It's okay. You release that person, because some people, they have mental health issues because they did not release the people they have. We are going to see it in the next slides. You know, you are trying to move, but you are like a you are like a car, a small car trying to pull an actress, because you have these luggages. You have carried people, you have grudges against people, you have people you are holding, you have accusation in your spirit. I mean, you have so many burdens. You can't smile with those types of burdens. You know, you are in chain, you are in deep bondages of people you did not forgive, and their souls are you are entangled. Your soul is entangled in conflicts and grudges and pain. It's a total mess, because you accumulated them over the years. So when you don't process an emotional pain, you know, those emotions are going to then start affecting your thought pattern, the way you think. That's when people will start saying, we start thinking a certain way. You will change your mindset about marriage, your mindset about the way you think about businesses, the way you think about jobs, the way you think about people, the way you think about men, the way you think about women, the way you think about money. You know, that's why some people will say rich people are greedy, rich people are bad people. They are entitled because maybe a boss has tried to rape you, or he has tried to ask you, some, corruption, or you start to change your thought pattern, the way you think. Very dangerous, because you did not process it. Then it is you have started manifesting the identity of pain. Oh my God. Can you imagine? You are becoming, you are incarnating pain, luggages, burdens. That's when people will say, what happened to that person? Nothing happened to him. He just has some unprocessed issues that he has. You have conflicts with family members. There are people you don't talk to. You have people you call enemies. No, they're not your enemies. You are just your own enemy. So when you are in this mental pain dilemma, the first thing you are going to notice is negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. You are so negative. Negative about everything. Negative about life, negative about people, negative about God, negative about yourself, negative about food, drink, weather, everything. You are very negative. So when you start noticing this negative pattern, the thoughts, when someone presents to you an idea, the first thing you think is, what if we are going to fail? When you start thinking negatively, it simply means, you are entangled, you have changed your mode. It's like changing the mode of the phone. Negative thoughts is a mode of the mind. Now negativity has become a theme. Your thoughts have a negative theme. Wow. You no longer see good in anything. The people you talk to, the first thing you think about is, they are jealous of me. When someone gives you a compliment, you are like, it's just flattering. It's not real. He's just nagging. When someone wants to offer help, you think people wants to take advantage of you. You are very pessimistic about everything. Have you ever talked to someone and then all they think is negative things? There is no money, there is no job, there is no good weather. I can't find this, I can't find that. No one loves me, no one accepts me, no one, nothing, never, here, why? Everything is not, is no, is never, is how, is what if we fail. A level of pessimism that is high. When you spot yourself with that kind of mind, that kind of these patterns, know that you have a mental pain that you have not processed. It's an emotional pain which has resided. It has become a residue in your psyche, in your subconscious mind, or even conscious mind. You have negative conclusions. Every discussion you are trying to have with people, the conclusion is negative. You end up with, so it's not possible. No, I cannot help you. No, I'm not able. How can I do this? My family has done so and so. How can I do that? No one in our family did that and that and that and that. So even me, how can it happen? My mom did not do this and this and this. My dad did not, did this and this and this. How can I be different? Mental pain that are unprocessed. You have judgmental grudges. You have gone through some pain. Someone said, I'm sorry, but you still hold that grudge. You have a one-man conflict. It's painful. You have a one-man conflict. You have a conflict with yourself. You are always judging people. You're always judging people, and you hold grudges over them. If they messed up with you and they say sorry, why do you still hold that grudge? Do you know why? Because you believe you don't deserve to be forgiven. You did not process that. You haven't yet processed that. Then, of course, comes insecurities. You pass somewhere and then you think people are talking about you. You do something and then you think people disrespect you. You give an idea when people, they say, can we amend it and, make it better? And then you start thinking, oh, you know what? I know they think I'm dumb. I'm not smart. You try to go in a relationship, when someone says something, you think they hate you. You try to start a business. When the first client says no, you say, oh, you know what? I knew I was going to fail. Mental pain that you did not process. So how do you process mental pain? Guys, these are all always steps. How do you process mental pain? Of course, number one, you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge that you are hurting. Then the next step is to identify its origin. What happened? What triggered these insecurities? Why do I feel this way? What is it? Is it because one day I failed in business? That's the reason. Why do I feel that everyone is trying to disrespect me? It's probably because I was born in a family where I was disrespected as a young man. Why am I always holding grudges against women? It's because one day a woman disappointed me, and then that's why I'm always like, I'm always anticipating a failure. I'm always when I do something, that's why. You have to know the origin. I mean, guys, this is a lot of work. This is a lot. I mean, let's be honest. Can you imagine if it's something that happened 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago? It means you have to travel back there. And you have to process that pain and then emerge back. That's a lot of work. That's why this course is a work. It's your work, the healing work. That's the work that you have to do. And let me tell you something. You cannot succeed in life if you have these things. You cannot. Because you are like someone, life is steepy, guys. Like life it's a mountain that we have to climb. So that's why you have to make sure that there are no luggages on your back so that you can climb as quick and as light as possible. Oh my God. You cannot afford luggages in life. That's why you have to forgive people quite easily. That's why you have to drop the pain easily. I mean, as soon as you can. Because you don't want to be held back. You don't want to be burdened by this thing. No, you can't afford it. You don't have eternity. You don't have a lot of years on earth. But however, because you did not know any better, now you have to pay the price. When you talk about processing mental pain, you are talking about paying the price of not, acknowledging things when they were on the early stage. Now you have to put your secrets out. You have to open up about that. That's courage. Now, that's courage. Because when it's mental pain, now things now are stinking a little bit. This is what I call a dirty laundry, guys. This is a dirty laundry here. You have to open up about that. This is courage. You could have processed it when it was still an emotional issue. Then you process it and then you're done, then you go. And now this time, it's not to talk about only. You have also to let your emotions out. You have to, if you have lost someone and you did not mourn, you have to go back and mourn that person. if you have lost that relationship, that it did not work, you have to go back and cry about it. You have to let your emotions out, your anger. You have to express it. You have to say it. You have to bring. You have to tell. You have to tell the story of your pain. This is when some people consult therapists, or if you have a close friend, he can help or she can help. But you have to let these emotions out, because now they are stagnant now. They're very stagnant. They're very stagnant. When something is, when shoes gets, when you run, when let's say when you wear shoes, when you wear a shoe for 1 or 2 days, you can still clean it up in 5 minutes. But guys, when you wear it for a month, brother, you have to clean it up at least. You have to take at least 1 hour to clean it up, because now the dirt now has sticked on the shoe. It's now a work in itself. It's quite a work. Then you have, of course, to outgrow it. It's the normal process. And then you have to forgive, and then you have to move on. But you will notice that these processes, they have some things in common, but also they have, the little things that are different on each on each level, on each state of your mental health. Like here, we are talking about letting your emotions out, because it's mental pain. Now you have the pain, the emotional pain that are accumulated. It's a different story. I like this advice. When Jesus was teaching his students, he said, do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. I think this is a very wise statement. I think he noticed that, he knew that his students are going to face some things, things that hurt them. You are going to face some crisis, some painful things are going to happen to you. You are going to be beaten down. Let's be honest. And sometimes it comes as a surprise. But please do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. It means do not let the day go off or day go by without processing the pain of that day. I like to say that just like you wash your body every day. Some people even have a good habit of brushing their teeth twice a day. Just like you don't go to bed with some food in your mouth. You brush your teeth every time you're going to bed. Just make sure that you also process all the things that happened in that day. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Do not go to bed with your dirty laundries. No. This time they're not yet dirty. They're just stinky, maybe. But do not let a day go by. Now, we have talked about emotional pain. We have talked about mental pain. Now, the next step is depression. Now, when you talk about depression, you are talking about someone has gone through failure, he has gone through emotional pain, he has gone through mental pain. Now it has turned into depression. Depression does not come just as one way. Trauma can be that way, but depression, no. And the type of, if we discuss about trauma as you will see it, we are going to talk about the type of trauma which is a result of a continuity, because there are trauma that are caused by shock, just a shock, and then some things happen. That can happen. But when you talk about depression, sister, man, you are not talking about something which happened in one day. No. Depression is a condition which results from accumulated unprocessed mental pain, causing amplified negative emotions, leading to distorted perception. Now, guys, this is where the things starts getting complicated. Now, you have gone, your emotions has been disrupted. Your thoughts has been disrupted. Now you are talking about your perception. Perception is the way you, it's, how can I explain perception in a very good way? Is the normal way of seeing things. I mean, it's so when your perception is distorted, you are going to confuse things, as you will see. You know, a person who is going through depression, he's not really suffering what is outside. He's suffering a distorted perception, as you will see. It means when something is distorted, it's like it's a malfunctioning perception. Wow, I think that's it. Your perception is not, it's not right. So, and as you will notice, someone who is going through depression, he's having extreme emotions because the perceptions are distorted. Now you are going to the extreme. Everything. By the way, guys, these are some of the signs. They are not all of them. If it's anger, it's crazy. If it's sadness, it's really, really sad. I mean, you are reaching the extremities of emotions. Guys, can you imagine if you can try to paint a picture of this mind going through this, I mean, it's a mess, bro. It's a mess. I mean, to reach a level of depression, it means you are, it has gone, it's a deep, you have gone in, deep in the mud. It's a pit, bro. You have extreme emotions, anxiety, fear, phobias. And then, of course, comes indulgences. I mean, some people, when they go in depression, there are some people who get depressed and then they eat a lot. They gain weight. Their health is compromised. They go in alcohol. They become alcoholic. They indulge in sexual pleasure. Because everything now, it's extreme. Everything has gone to the extreme. You are going an extra mile. Aha. Misinterpreting intentions. Misinterpreting intentions. Guys, can you imagine this? So it means if you are one of the signs of a person who is going in depression, he's going to misinterpret people's intentions because he's relating to you based on the things he went through. You are trying to help him or her. She's thinking you are trying to use her. You are trying to give a hand. She's thinking we are going to cause her to sink in the pit. You are trying to give her an opportunity for, a business opportunity. She's thinking you are trying to backstab her or corrupt her or destroy her business because her perspective has been distorted. In the times of being happy, she's sad. In the time of being sad, she's, weird. Twisted perceptions. Twisted perceptions. This is very dangerous because when your perceptions are twisted, it means you don't see clearly. You don't see clearly. You don't know who loves you, who hates you. You confuse all of them. You judge things from a wrong perspective. Wow. You judge things from a wrong perspective. That's why depression is so deep. Depression is a deep mental health. It's a critical mental health state, because when someone has started getting twisted perception, I mean, he has. That's why when you have depression, they give you. I mean, they send you in a hospital, in a mental health hospital, because you are close to getting mad. I mean, a mad person is simply a person who confuse things. In the time of wearing clothes, he removes them. That's a shift in perspective, nothing else. It means he's disturbed, that he lost, oh my God, he lost the concept of space and time. Because when you lose perspective, then the next step is you are going to lose I mean, you are going to be, I mean, you have this unconscious awareness that you have inside of you that has twisted the way you see things. That's when you are in depression, you can even hurt yourself. You can even hurt yourself, just as easy as it sounds, and as crazy as it may be. Because your perceptions are twisted, you are confusing everything, including, I mean, not only people's intentions, but including your surroundings. It's a very critical, I mean, this module will help you do yourself a self-diagnosis, and acknowledge that, and decide to say, okay, I'm heading into depression. And of course, when you talk about recovering from it, you have to know what triggered it. When we're talking about recovering from depression, because depression, as I told you, it's a result of these luggages from mental and emotional pain. They're manifesting in depression, they result into that. So identifying what triggered it, because depression is triggered. It is triggered. It can be triggered by, someone, by fear. It can be triggered by failure, and then you fall into depression. You have tried to get a job for 7 years, and then by the time you thought you were going to get one, you fail again. Then that specific failure, it triggers it. That's why you have to go back and then see what triggered this thing. That's what therapists do. That's why, therapeutic sessions, it's a conversation. When you are having a conversation with the therapist, that's why they are taking notes. They take notes because they are trying to enumerate the triggers so that they can go back with you and then you process those triggers. Aha. Yes. That's what therapists do. So it's going backward. It's like reverse engineering your pain. Wow, I like that. To heal depression, you have to reverse engineer it. If you don't do that, let me tell you something. I'm not an expert I'm a certified expert in mental health, but I have common sense and observation. And I would say that to treat depression with pills and, whatever the medics that they give people, I think it's treating the right disease in the wrong way. I mean, I understand the placebo effect and everything, but bro, this thing is deep. It's deep. You can't treat it with a pill. Baby, no. No. You got to deal with it. You have to deal with it because it's a deep pain in your psyche. It's a deep pain, sometimes in your unconscious mind. So you kind of have to go back in your unconscious mind and raise it in your subconscious mind, and then bring it in your conscious mind so that you can process it. Can you imagine? That's a lot of work, and it cannot be fixed by pills. That's why you cannot treat these things with, you treat them with, the patient has to be intentional with it. But also the doctor has to understand that, or the therapist has to understand that it's a mental work, not always biological. You can take a pill to sleep, even though it's bad. It's very bad to take pills to sleep. You are conditioning your body in a very dangerous way. Unless you have other health issues that, if you have pain, painkillers and so forth. But guys, let me tell you, you don't want to condition your mind on pills. You don't want to build your life on pills. No. If you have friends, if you have people who are living abroad and you try to talk with them, the pharmaceutical industry is trying to develop pills for everything. Pills for sleeping, for appetite, for vitamins, for for anger, for addiction and indulgences and stress and everything. You can't. You have to face it. That's why it's painful. Guys, the things I'm telling you right now are tough. They're very tough. I know they're tough. So it's not an easy task. And I would say that may God help you. It requires a lot of courage. But in all you do, because let me tell you something, painkillers don't heal. No, they don't cure. They just kill pain. Pain is a result of a problem. It's like when someone has a headache and you take pills of headaches, but you did not treat the cause, the root cause of that headache. That's why some people, you are tired, you get headaches, you get pills, and then you keep working, but the body is still tired. The body is still tired. I better treat that thing of being tired first. I better rest, man. I better rest. That's how you treat issues from the root. Now, the next thing is you have to stay alert. Because depression tends to, even though you have processed the pain, but if you don't stay alert, because guys, you have to understand this. These things of mental health, it's conditioning. If your mind has been conditioned to be sad, if you have been through sadness for a long period of time. I was watching a conversation on YouTube, and the lady who was being interviewed, he told the host, "I can tell if you have had a good childhood." And the host was like, "How can you know that?" And then the host said, the interviewee said, "Smile." And then when the host smiled, the interviewer, she said, you see, you can tell. Because someone who has had a good upbringing, you can see it when he's a grown old person. Because his mind has been conditioned in a certain way. So if you have been afraid for long, if you have been sad for long, if you have been hurt for a long time, even though you process that pain, you have also to start a process to recondition. Staying alert is going to help you to recondition. You are going to recondition yourself again to be happy. You're going to recondition yourself to forgive faster. You're going to recondition yourself to be patient. You're going to recondition yourself again and again and again. That's what staying alert means. I love this. Practice stillness, calmness for self-consciousness. What is self-consciousness? Self-consciousness is intentional self-awareness. Wow, I like that. I think I'm going to write that down. That is a download from from God. I was like, what is how can I explain self-consciousness articulately? I mean, it's intentional self-awareness. You know, when you talk about intentional self-awareness, you are talking about the ability to always be aware of how you are feeling and how you are thinking and what you are thinking. How you are feeling and what you are thinking. It's like to be the police of your mind. Ooh, I like that. You are the police of your own mind. Because remember, depression is deeper. It's not like emotional pain and mental pain. That one can be fixed. I mean, hopefully, if you do the work. But when you talk about depression, now it's deep in the pit. You have to recondition again up, to recondition yourself up. So that's why you have to stay alert, to say like, oh, wait. There's a negative thought coming. No, I block you. There is this, I block you. No, I don't accept that. I don't feel, okay, why do I feel? It's self-diagnosis, doing the diagnosis performing mental diagnosis every single moment of your day. So that you can be awake as it is required, so that you can, I mean, that's why the recovering from depression, it takes time. Because it took you time to go deeper into the pit, it's going to take you time to go out of the pit. You are not going, listen, you're not going to stay 3 months in a therapeutic hospital and expect to recover from depression. God, for God's sake, do not allow these people to lie to you. No. Bro, listen, if it has taken you 5 years to proclaim yourself depressed, it's gonna take you, I don't want to say this. It's gonna take you long enough to recover from those 5 years. Because if it took you 5 years to damage something, let's use our mind, use your brain today. Use your brain today. How long will it take you to recover back? Close in proximity, in the neighborhood of what it took you to go down the pit. That's the price. Dear brother, dear sister, that's the price. There is no way we can dodge this. No way. We gotta do the work. If you want some chill pill, quick fix, unsustainable results, go for a therapist, get a pill, or few sessions, and then you are done. You think you're done. Listen, no, you are just lying not only to the therapist, first of all, you are lying to yourself. And let me tell you, as I told you, you cannot become, you cannot fulfill your full potential if you are not healed. Just impossible. It's impossible, because I told you, when you are not healed, you are in bondage. Deep bondage. Serious bondage. Chains, in fact. Chains. That's why you have to do the work. There is no way to dodge it. And guys, listen, guys. in Kinyarwanda we say, umuti urura niwo uvura. Umuti urura niwo uvura. There is no way. There is no way. That's why when I teach these programs, I feel I sound like a person who has no emotions, or I sound like someone who is harsh. But that's how it is, guys. Listen, when you don't get serious with life, life is going to turn upside down for you. I mean, it's going to kick you. It's going to kick. It's going to kick you, guys. Yeah, let me, I'm being honest with you because I love you. Truly, truly love you. I truly love you, and I don't want anyone to be held in any form of bondage. I want to see all of you, thriving and happy and smiling and, overjoyed and taking your life in charge. That's why, that's what I do. That's why I sacrifice sleep, and I say, you know what, I'm in a comfort place, but let me work on this, because I want you to thrive, because I love you, because I want you to succeed, and I don't want anything that any potential threat to your success is, you have to be aware of it. Because let me tell you, the reason why people die unfulfilled, it's not because they are bad people. No, it's not because they committed sin. No, it's just because they did not know the obstacles that stopped them from achieving that success. So pain and these things are obstacles, they're detours to your success. So I want you to use them to even reach more. I don't want anything to stop you. I don't want anything to stop you. I want you to move surely. I want you to move with confidence and go hit that target. Go become that person, that amazing lady, that amazing mom, that amazing dad, an amazing business person, an amazing, whatever you want to do in life. But do not be afraid to pay the price. This is the price. Today, I'm telling you the price of being successful. This is the price. And if you try to dodge it, it's going to haunt you. Remember, you cannot dodge a life lesson. No. 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 If you dodge it, it's going to come back, disguised in a different way. You have to deal with it, overcome it, outgrow it, and fly higher. Carl Jung said, we do not solve problems, we outgrow them. That's the reality. So I'm remaining with 10 minutes. I will use probably 15. And then we are probably going to have another session tomorrow at the same time so that we can finish this module. We are going to have another class tomorrow for part 2 of this course because it was a long course. I could not finish it. By the way, I think we are going to stop from here today. I think we've had quite a lot, and you need a night to digest it, and tomorrow, so that you can come back tomorrow for another session. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload this part 1 on YouTube, and we are going to send you a link so that you can go through it again. And tomorrow we are going to resume this, tomorrow 6:30, so that we can finish the module. But for today, let's stop here. Then tomorrow we are going to resume, because yeah, this was almost the end of part 1, but I prefer to talk about this tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm going to, if to give you a flow, maybe say something, how you feel about this, and we close in 5 minutes. Yeah, thank you very much. God bless you. My people, are you still around? Failure is when you miss the mark. Noted. Thank you, Enoch. Good evening. How are you? Fine. All right.
Yeah, we are there.
Yes. Yeah. So I thank you very much. So I hope. Does anyone wants to add something before we close? Or say anything or.
I am also I am comments on it. I'm sorry for that, but I appreciate the way I aim. But today's course was very helpful, and I'm really missing these courses from Monday to Friday. It is too long, dear friends, too long. But this is how it must be. Okay, for sure, what has helped me is the process I passed. Like it is the same process that I pass through when I meet any challenge, like any failure, like anything in life.
Yeah.
Because when I treat any failure negative, for sure I see it's sick and very, very sick.
We've lost you.
I mean, like, where am I going?
We've lost you. Oh my God, we've lost you.
You're not hearing him.
Okay. Eno, can you fix your network while Janti is talking to us? No, we can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay. Can you Enoch, can you fix your network? Can you fix your network while Janti is talking to us?
Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Now we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh. Okay, I shifted to a place where I don't have enough net, but okay. I was saying like, just like accepting your failure in an optimistic way helps your emotions like 100%, because you arrive at a time where you feel like everybody hates you, like everybody who is talking about something is talking about you. Like you arrive to an extent that you can't love yourself unconditionally.
Absolutely.
So the same way you can't you can't love yourself unconditionally, it is the same condition that you put to other people to come to you. So you will see like everybody cannot come to you because you love people on certain conditions that you've set it. And it is not any other people that you set those conditions to, but it also comes to you don't love yourself unconditionally. So you like every situation that I pass through, I say that God is trying to help me with these mistakes, because when I like build a bigger organization for my own, and I make such a kind of mistake, the organization can maybe collapse. I think like my father loves me a lot to teach me Like he put me to a job where I can make mistake and still be end. Wow, something good. Like I want, like, when I meet people, I like failure and mistakes are good if you don't repeat them. Like
Very
you
good.
pick up we pick up the lesson you got from the mistakes, and imagine if you can, like, multiply that mistake. How much can that be? How much cost you can pay for that mistake? Like staying positive, loving yourself unconditionally, like noting everything that it is from, like, a positive perspective.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, I say, like, even though everyone is questioning me, and I myself, I am questioning myself, God is not questioning me at all, because
Wow.
His righteous made me fresh. He loves me unconditionally, and I treat myself better. I say, okay, if God is on my side, no one is just against me. So even though I am questioning myself at this point, but I am really positive and pure and secured and righteous for everything. So this course was very important. And when when you reach at an extent, you don't feel yourself, you don't feel important, you don't feel like you achieve something in life, you don't feel like you are needed in life. That's where comes depression. You like you to a certain state of, like, you are at a hate, wenda uri hejuru kuri hate runaka uramanutse kubisa hasi urashwanyaguritse to the extent n'ubwo buco bwawe badashobora kubuteranya ngo wongere ube umuntu muzima. But I like to tell people, my people, love yourself. If your faults, like, niba na fault yabayeho ikaba yagize n'ingaruka ku buzima bwa, you are not, ntabwo igihe cyawe kirangiye. You still have time to correct yourself, you still have time to love yourself, you still have to not worry about anything. Like I love the quote Paul yavuze ngo byose bifatanyiriza hamwe ko tuzarira ibyiza.
Absolutely.
Because ari ibintu wita ko ari byiza, ariko hashira igihe ukazavumbura ko byari bibi kuri wowe.
Absolutely.
Hakaba n'ibindi bintu wita ko you call them to be good, ariko nako bibi, wazagera imbere ugasanga byari icyo kugufasha. You recognize, iyo ntaza gukora bino kosa, bino bintu simba narabimenye.
Absolutely.
Like rero kugira ngo ujye uvuga ngo ngo bino byari byiza, bino byari bibi, bino byarafashe n'ibyafashije, Paul abizingira hamwe akavuga ngo byose bifatanyiriza hamwe kunzagira ibyiza. So I really want to everybody who is to think the same way. Like nibaza yuko nicyo ngicyo nendaga kubaza, but the course of today was very nice, very nice. Thanks Willie, thanks to God, thanks to the family you are with. I think, like, we are just going to reach far. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you very much. And guys, before ndabona harimo abari kugenda, those slipping away. So ntabwo turangije, we are going to resume tomorrow, ejo Saturday 6:30 p.m. We'll be on time nabwo to get to for us to close the course harimo ibyo tutarangije, and I'm going to send the recording. Jantier, you wanted to say something before we close?
Hey, good morning.
Yeah.
Good evening, sorry.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been a long time. I was like, I can say hi to you for those days. And also I was going to give comments for the course. It was nice and amazing. And I don't know how to say, but it was needed. So, because I can think that maybe, I don't know if it is everyone, but we struggle with this kind of mental pain and mental health or whatever. So, and what I can add on is for those people maybe who don't trust or who are not feeling that I can talk to someone they trust and tell them what they're feeling with. There is a friend who called me, who is called like Emila. Emila is a friend who is who is so nice to us. You can talk to your mirror and even it can help you to really come from those those feelings you had. Yeah.
Self-talk is therapy as well.
I can. Yeah, sure. I can say that I use it when I'm like I'm feeling somehow not good. I go to the mirror and then say, "Janti, are you listening to me? Please, you have to be feeling good." And also I come back again and then feel good. So
Yeah.
we need to really focus and work on ourselves more than anything, just about our mental health. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. I can say a lot, but may God be with you and everyone here, and God bless you too. Good night.
God bless you, Janti. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think self-talk is amazing. I mean, I talk to myself and I like it, and I counsel myself when things get tougher, or just when I want to come up with a decision. I do some self-therapy as well, so it's very helpful. Yes. Teta, hi. Teta, are you still around?
Yego ndahari nabaramukije.
Bite wiriwe neza?
Amahoro. Naje ndushye cyane nakererewe.
Yeah, no worries.
Mm.
No worries. Great. Thank you very much. So see you tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. And the rest, God bless you. And I think I'm going to upload this one on YouTube and send you a link so that you can, get time to redigest it. Then tomorrow we meet and close this course 9. So we are approaching the end of the program, and it's very surprising. It has been it seems to be a bit quick, but we are almost closing the program. The next Friday we are going to have the last course, course 10. Then we are going to have 2 weeks of mentorship, or just the 2 weeks of asking questions, or repeating some courses. I hope Mutaj is a very good performance, and we close the program. So make sure that you start writing down the questions that you have. If there is a scenario that you need advice on, no problem. Then we are going to close the program stronger and with even more value, some practical advice in my situation now. So thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. I'm going to send the invitation of the class, of the link of this Zoom, and the link of the video as well. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good night.
God bless you too. Good night.
Okay, good night. Thank you.